Welcome to the fifth lecture on landscape. In this lecture, we will deal with the local, again with local elements, which means the climate, the geology, and the effect of this on the materials of construction. Landscape can be seen and experienced through the analysis of its components. So I propose to deal to observe carefully also the colors, the materials, the shape of construction, little towns, big towns, villages, countryside churches, or other buildings in the countryside. Construction systems and construction materials are so a relevant part of the value of any landscape. This will help us to get closer, to educate our senses, our understanding, to understand, to deal with what we call genius loci, the spirit of the place. Every place has its spirit, which is connected to tangible and intangible elements. The centuries or millennia that have shaped our landscapes are very relevant also on this side. So history, geography are again the important tools of our lecture. What are the materials available on site? They depend on the kind, on the quality, on the material of the site. To use materials available on site, on place, has guaranteed during the centuries a harmony, a special harmony with the additional elements on this on every territory. So harmony of colors, sustainability, and today to be aware of these values of the characters of these materials can help us to work in continuity with history, managing the correct conservation, but also managing the needed changes into places. So I propose you the three main materials of our planet, with available materials, of course. They are earth, stone. Of course, with stone we could include also marbles, but we will be very simple discussing stone. And then the other material is timber. So let's make this exercise of observation. If we start with earth, we know that earth is the ground of a certain places which are not rich of stone. And earth is a material which was used in places, in regions where a stone was not available, and also this region were not provided with forest, providing very good trees for construction. So no good stone, no good timber in these places. So the basic material was just the earth. And we can experience in history raw earth and then cooked or cooked earth or what we say brick. Raw earth consists of compacted mixture of moist clay and sand. Raw earth is an excellent building material as it has many properties similar to concrete. So mixed with water and with sand, earth can be really resistant, but it needs, of course, continuous maintenance. and it is especially suitable in countries with a hot climate. So climate is always an important tool, element to describe all this material, all this topic. A variety of raw earth construction techniques can be found over centuries. They have developed in many ways, and they have been shaped in different regions, in different continents, uh, assuring or giving identity to these places. So they became, with also the detailed um, decorations or element, they became, and the use of colors, they became an identity of different place. They can be recognized rather easily. These are some tools to to remember or to understand how this material, which is not really compact and it has not a volume or not a big dimension, should be pressed or worked with specific tools to become useful for construction. And so the raw earth provided in history constructions of maximum, I can say, in some latitudes, maximum 2 floors, and we can see that the holes represent the way to build them using timber. So small quantity of timber is complementary to this kind of construction. We can see the result which are still present in many areas, also in central Italy, and we can see the exterior and we can see some interior. Of course, you can really see that this interior is new or renovated, and this material or this construction system has been forgotten for a while, but today has been again again appreciated a lot because it's a very sustainable material, and it can be kept and it can assure good climate inside because the deepness of these walls can assure to filter the hot and cold climate. We can see that in other cultures than Europe, the material has been shaped. Also, you see in modules, and this was used to make covers. These what we call cupolas or vault, which are became traditional in these we can say African cultures. We see the system of construction. Every inhabitant of these places has been in the centuries able to work on this system. It is a living tradition which is which has a continuity generation after generation. So you see, the material is then plastered with the same mud, with the same to just to protect the internal structure, and this element put outside should be renewed continuously to keep the inside material protected. We see that the result is very beautiful, very fascinating in this vault, this plain vault. These shapes, very simple, are really characteristic of some areas and very beautiful. Um, I said they can be 1 or 2 floors, but in Morocco, these um, castle, which are also fortified villages, which are called ksars, they provide much more monumental elements made with the same system. So the capacity of improving the material during centuries made some cultures eager to organize something like cathedrals or monumental elements, and you see that the windows, the openings, which are shaped only on the high floors, on the high part of the building, for evident reasons also of defense, they are very they will accept, they will include decorations which became symbols of these places. We can also see these are very hot climate, so this raw earth provides a very good climate inside. Also, the small openings tell us that they filter the light and can guarantee inside a good climate. This is the same thing that can explain these small roads with walls on both sides. They provide also paths and connection which are not too hot, and they can help to repair from the sun. Then we have bricks. Bricks are a different thing. A development of raw material, of raw earth, is the capacity of cooking this or drying this in the sun, or cooking this with developed systems. And so we see also a plate describing how this material is shaped in modules. We see these modules and they become cubic elements, and they were used to build walls, pavements, and all the elements of the masonry construction. Roman times, in ancient Rome, they were using brick for every detail of the construction, for the masonry, for arches to provide openings. And this was a very successful material, which was also developed into decorations more and more. And so we can see the Roman brick. This is the modular element, which is very easy, very light, and very easy to be used by one man with one hand. And you see different patterns. These are arches with a special thin material. And then here are pavements, we say, in the shape of fish bones. But this material has been used in every also in hot regions, and used like this with holes. This can help to have transparent and breathing buildings. And you can see also how the development of construction, the development of different ways of combining these modular materials can provide very interesting textures which become characteristic of areas. And here we can see in India also the use of brick, building, making modular houses, very valid to also guarantee protection in these areas. I step into contemporary just to tell you how in those latitudes, Africa, they are experimenting the contemporary use of the same material. So you see that they provide also some stamps to uh, organize, to invent new tools, new shapes with this material. They are still modules that can be composed in a very, you see, very nice way. They are breathing walls, and you can see that they can provide new images, or these are tiles which are also used for protecting or just to make shadows in those latitudes. From brick to stone, stone is a completely different material. Stone can be found in areas with mountains, and stone can be found into the ground in some areas, or this has to be cut from mountains. And also this is a very old material, much more resistant, is very, very hard, and it is less flexible, we must say, than earth, but very, very resistant. So we can see that stone was during the centuries used in blocks, small or big, with different shape, with different forms, and they were used to make walls, to make constructions. One typical primitive use of this material is to provide huts, provide very simple houses, elements for the countryside. They were used for men and animals in agriculture or in open fields, in many lands, in many latitudes. We can see here a possible different schemes according to the findings of these areas. They were they are the result also of a growing capacity of local people to shape and to use these materials, and we see that they can become also monumental elements. The thickness of these walls are from 1 to 2 meters, and so they also provide a very good climate inside. And this is one example in central Italy, which has been restored. This has 2 entrances. This entrance is for animals, and up is for men that have to work with these animals. And you can see that they become rather interesting, a rather important as identity of places. And you can see also the walls of these elements, which are rather nice. Of course, they are very simple elements, very primitive construction, but they can tell us a lot on the capacity of man to deal with its place according, and protect himself according to climate. This use of material becomes monumental in some areas, like southern Italy, in Puglia. These truly, they are traditional houses. Every room of this countryside farmhouses, every vault of this conical vault is a room. So each room has this protection, which is also a monumental image that can be seen from far distance. But the same material is used also to other monumental elements. Traditional barns in northern Spain, in the region of Asturias, in Galicia, they became really big monuments. They were very important because they were the places to protect food and also important dresses or costumes for the festivities. And they are still today very important protected monuments. You can see how beautiful are these elements using wood, using stone in different ways. Or we can have stone villages, stone towns in central Italy. So stone can be used for also shaping towers, houses of different height. In this case, the height can be really bigger, can be really very more important than in the case of raw earth. Of course, this material is much more resistant and can be used also in this way. We can see towers and different houses from Middle Ages onward, and you can see that the texture of this material also is very different than the brick texture, but is still is very interesting, and it is also an element of identity. What is the use for you of this lecture? Is to understand the landscape can be um, a wide topic. You can discuss um, urban landscape, you can discuss open air landscape. And of course, this landscape has different elements, different values. And a value is this one of the materials. And so you can also become a bit expert on languages in urban scale and architectural scale. And this decoration, you can see that stone is not only provided in little modular elements, but stone is also cut in bigger elements like arches and the pilasters supporting arches, architraves, and all the elements to shape and to protect, to open openings in buildings. But these openings can become monumental, can become also interesting, and can become an element that is characteristic of different ages. Can be Roman time, Middle Ages, Renaissance, Baroque, and contemporary. Let's go to the third material, timber, and this is the last one. Timber is, of course, a material which is ready in our landscape, and this is typical of forest areas in Northern Europe, North America. In all this latitude, in all these areas, the capacity of having timber, or we can say that in Asia we have bamboo, which is a different kind of material, which is all of these are flexible. All of these are flexible and very resistant. They, of course, are used in a different way in hot or cold climate. And we can see the beauty of these forests or these areas in summer and in winter. And they have very good characters. For instance, pine wood is the most used for construction. We can see that also this material has been used since millennia. We can say the primitive huts are just an assemblage of materials taken from the site. And we can see these conical huts or the development of huts, and we can imagine that these elements that we see are for hot climates. And so the structure is then covered by other elements of wood, or it's just covered by lighter elements taken also from the trees, which provide a protection, but also provide the capacity of breathing and helping to make shadow, to have shadow, but not closing all the element. This is one example. When you see these straw elements, which are very simple, very thin, and they provide just the enclosure, but not but can permit the passage of air. Of course, they are very primitive, very simple, but they start to give they are anyway a lesson that is transferred century by century, and they become today again very important. We can say that in Asia, in very hot, humid climates, these huts are really capturing the wind. You can see that they capture the wind, and they have to be suspended from the soil, because the soil can have water, and animals are also very dangerous to enter into these huts. And so the shape is really made according to the need, and so according to the use, to the dialogue with climate. And so they become very beautiful. Or we see other huts also made with timber structure and raw earth, um, providing also um, traditional big houses in different latitude. Here we are in Alps, for instance, in southern Europe. Or you can see that different shapes can be used for having these huts with different parts of the trees, with stones in this case to protect also from animals as well. Then in Northern Europe, or we can say also in Northern America, it was developed since centuries, this log, uh, just very, very long and resistant logs that were shaped in simple way, and they should provide a completely closed wall and place to defend from, in fact, very cold weather. This vignette is rather interesting, just says that this material is on site. And so you cut trees to build your home, your house, your traditional simple house. This has been developed for centuries, and every man in this latitude has been always able to build his own hut or house. And also here we have special huts which are for storage of food and dresses, and this is one case. The shapes become traditional. They are also elevated from the floor for preventing humidity, but also for preventing the animals to get in and destroy everything. These are houses, traditional houses. Of course, the fireplace is a surviving element to cook food, but also to give the heat to the house. And so this interesting stone structure inside the timber house are so complex, because they are kitchen, but also bedroom, and also place to dry dresses. Then we can go to monumental elements. And so there is this Petäjävesi old church in central Finland, which is a UNESCO site. You see, is an 18th century building, which has been protected and saved, and can give us a lot of elements to understand how timber construction has been also very very refined, very elegant, and very important. This is a landscape with water, landscape with forest, and we see the beautiful colors in summer that become white in winter. And the church is a protected area with its cemetery, and this is a bell tower, very, very evident in its shape. And so the traditional element is developed in 18th century, also with this painted element, but all is timber. There is also also this kind of element, which is not, of course, which is a spine, an element going um, to um, um, to be seen from far distance. I want to show you the details of this construction. It's a very compact construction because it has to prevent the protection. So also here, like in raw earth and stone construction, in cold climate, the walls are very thick. And here the thickness is just the thickness of the log, which is just shaped in different ways, in different areas. And also these corner joints become element typical as identity of different regions. So landscape is still identity. Materials of landscape can become identity. And you see that the timber must be protected by the soil from with stone. And so stone is always, and this is granite stone, is always an important element to be combined with timber. And you see also the beautiful construction of a sort of monumental staircase entering this church, which is also rather refined inside. You can see how the capacity of timber builders makes monumental elements, these columns, and the carving of wood in different elements give a certain monumentality, even in the small scale. We can speak about monumentality on this vault, which is imitating or having a dialogue with the stone vaults. So it's an octagonal vault, very interesting, very beautiful, and gives us the example of how the builders here have developed an interesting interesting skills. Also, the colors in all these elements are very interesting, and you can see the result of these elements of these churches completely in wood, pavement, benches, all the decoration, the pulpit and the walls, everything is in wood. Then we go to contemporary. These are again pictures taken from Biennale architecture in Venice. And you can see how now in Africa there are many experiments to renew the use of this material, which is on site. And so this is a monumental, um, uh, playing place for parks, which is very interesting and says us how the traditional way of construction can become a suggestion for new interesting elements. And you can see that here the interest, the connection between these elements becomes really very, very interesting and provides protected elements inside, also providing some shadow. And also, this is another interesting, is a um, uh, a library which is available also in Africa, is a completely new design which is playing with timber, providing the continuity with ancient patterns, and providing completely new elements. I find this rather interesting, and I hope that you too can play a bit with these elements, because now the lecture has ended. And I would suggest you to, with the help of your teacher, to open your eyes again in a different way. Try uh, to look and describe the material of your landscape. Your landscape is a landscape full of stones, is a mountain landscape, or is a landscape just with sand and earth, or is a landscape full of forests. And so in this different landscape, you can see how this landscape in centuries has provided the instructions to traditional construction, how the landscape, the ground, the material, the geology of the place has suggested, has provided a link with the construction system. And also search in your dictionary the characters of earth, stone, and timber, because this can help you to understand the how these three materials, the traditional materials, can be used also today with their characters or of flexibility, um, um, uh, duration, and also flexibility, durability, resistance, we can say to the weight, but also resistant to fire. This can be, I think, a useful exercise to play with the other lectures. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next lecture.